Good evening. This is Tisha McDonald, Alternatives Beauty Studio.
And this is Tanika Gillar. I am naturally yours.
I must say, I like the new specs.
Thank you.
Yeah. How was your day today?
It was good. It's my Friday, so it's always good. How
Okay.
was your day?
Busy, but a good day, productive day. I said on Twin last week that I was going to start back my workouts on Monday, and Monday I was back at my workouts. And actually today I did two workouts, one with my son and one by myself. So I'm happy I'm back on the horse. Got over the birthday and Father's Day, and now I was back on my
The
workout
workout.
schedule. Yes.
Yes. And Libra's on me about my working out again because of my little raggedy foot that's been in the boot. And so
Mm,
I'm kind of coming out the boot.
okay.
So it's time to get back on it. But real quick, the twinness,
Yes, what about it?
opposites, white frames, black frames.
Well, these are
Um,
really brown.
Whatever, good twin, not so good twin.
The nerve, the
Yeah,
nerve.
I just had to
What?
point that out.
Angel, and I
Yes,
won't say the other one.
long as you know.
The nerve. You know what? Anyway, I'm moving on. Before we get started, we always have questions in our queue. So one of the questions I was asked is, well, it wasn't a question. It was something that I had to just say. Um,
Okay.
a client, sometimes stylists will give a lot of recommendations for products for people to use. And we've said this over and over again. And again,
Hmm.
if you purchase one of our books on Amazon, oh, and I have a compliment as well from
Okay.
another client.
Uh-huh.
Um, Sometimes you're putting everything on your hair except the kitchen sink, and it will
Okay.
cause product buildup. So, okay, that being said, us
Okay.
as stylists, we cannot take our nails and scrape up and scratch your head as we're washing. That's not our job. We don't know what you have, so if I'm scraping and I cause you to bleed, that's a hazard for me,
Hmm.
and if you have something like psoriasis, I'm really not supposed to be scraping your head like that. So if you
Hmm.
have product buildup, um, and I'll wash you twice with a clarifying shampoo twice, and I still can't get that buildup. You need something more like a detoxifier. And that's extra. So when you come to a salon and you say, okay, well, I know I've been putting a lot of products on my hair, and sometimes clients don't know that they have all of this. Then when a stylist says you have to get it has to be detoxified, then you're just going to have to know that you're going to pay extra for that. That's one thing. The second thing is if you feel like your scalp is not clean because you still have that buildup there, that's not the stylist's fault per se. Um, but sometimes that's to your own doing because you're putting so much stuff that you shouldn't really be putting on your hair. And sometimes it's just your skin. Of course, if you scrape, like I just washed my hair just now, if you scrape your scalp, you're going to get some of your scalp in under your nails. But if you see something that's more than just your scalp, then that's product buildup. So I know sometimes clients don't know and they don't understand the difference between just what's natural and what's buildup. So I just wanted to get on and say, if you're putting oil and grease and whatever leave-in conditioner, you got to know that this is building up on your scalp. It's not cleansing the scalp. That is my spiel on that because she didn't have a question, but it was kind of a question. It's like, oh, what is this? And I'm like, that's product buildup. We're going to have to detoxify.
Well, I had one little question, but it's not real major. I'm in Alabama, and there's only a few of us that provide certain services. So one of my girls, you would know her name, called to say, hey, who are you referring your clients to? Because I don't do lock extensions, faux locks, any of that. And I told her who I'm referring to. But the people that I refer to this person, they say, oh, she charges too much. And me and this particular stylist are like, people want these faux locks or lock extensions, but they don't understand. They want to pay you this cheap amount. But if you're getting them done by hand, that takes time, it costs money. And so that's why most of us don't offer those services here. And the ones that do offer it do charge a premium price. Sometimes people want the style, but they don't want to pay the cost. And you can't always be that way. And that we talk about that in every aspect, not just with hair, but with education as well. Sometimes you have to pay your mentor to mentor you.
That's part of our subject tonight. But I want to say congratulations for your new certification.
Oh,
Clap, clap,
thank
clap,
you.
clap, clap, clap.
Thank you. Thank
Yes.
you. Always something with us, Tisha. Always something.
It is always something with us. It is always something. But the next thing was my client walked in and I have a poster in the salon and I'm going to have it remade with our books on it. So it has all 6 books, but I forgot to write you could purchase on Amazon. How could I forget that?
How could you forget that?
I know. It just has our website, Tisha and Tanika. It says twinist.com. But it doesn't say purchase. So she was like, y'all have 6 books. Why didn't I know this? Da, 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 da. So or I'm going to have the poster redone and put buy your books here at, Amazon. And then it's on Goodreads as well. So I wanted to make that. And she was like, oh, my stylist, she has 6 books. And I'm just like, yes, Miss Shirley, we have 6 books out. We did it over the, the COVID break.
Yes.
So that was the 2 things. It was the product build up and the compliment
books.
About the books.
Okay. Well, thank you for whoever did the compliment. And yes, I need to promote the hair books as well a little bit more over the summer.
Yes, I'm getting on that. I have a meeting tomorrow and I'm going to get on that as well. So let's get into the topic of the night because you mentioned it. Sometimes you have to pay your mentors. So, it's a difference in if someone is asking your opinion just to ask your opinion about something, or even if they're just asking your advice for something. But when it comes to like people want to know about the business and how to get started and what did I have to go through? Like right now, I have been working with the Department of Delaware since February to get my cosmetology license out here. Now that's a long process. What are you looking for?
Nothing.
That's a long process. But, all I could do is be patient, right? So, people want to know like how are you going to work Pennsylvania and Delaware. People want to know for nosiness. And then people want to know, just because they want to know how to strategize if they want it to be in more than one location. And sometimes, you want to tell people, but then again, it's like, why am I going to tell you this? Because you're really not going to do nothing with this. You're just asking just to be asking. At what point do you stop giving advice?
I'm not real spiritual like that, but the Bible always talks about casting your pearls to swine. There's some students that's really going to eat up what you got and go for it and take it all with them and run with it. And then you have others that's like they're getting the information, but they don't do anything with it. And we've all been guilty of that. I can say that about myself right now. Like my fitness person, Libra, I'm in and out. I'm in and out. I'm in and out. So she's telling me what to do, how to do, when to do, why to do, but I'm in and out. I'm not really like full force the way I need to be. Same thing with your hair students or your people up underneath you. Some are gonna do and some are not. So when do I stop? When I see that you're not.
So you wouldn't mind if Libra cut you off?
No, because I would deserve it. And that's the truth. Because I have too many ups and downs and excuses for why I can't do, or I don't feel the pull, the drive as strong as somebody else that's in the group that might really need it. I don't feel the need as much as somebody else, because I feel like, I just want to be strong. It's my goal is not weight loss per se, it's strength. And so I think maybe having your ultimate goal might be, I'm like, I'm good if I work out, I'm good. And when I'm going strong and I'm good. But when I slow down or lag, it takes a minute to get back up, but she doesn't stop. Like I have students that I used to teach phlebotomy and they still talk to me. They'll text me, because I was that influence for them, or I was that encourager for them, and I still am that encourager for them. So sometimes you don't see how you're influencing your mentees. So I would never say to cut them off, because you never know. They'll come back and say, hey, I experienced this, or hey, I had an epiphany. I just learned this, and they're just excited to get back with you or to communicate with you. So I wouldn't cut them off in that regard.
Okay.
But I think,
Mhm.
no, go ahead. Sometimes we get too much information from too many sources. And so that will become a problem. Like, are you listening to me? Or are you going to listen to this person or this platform instead of, are you trying to take shortcuts because this is what they say? So I think sometimes people have to really hone in on who they want to listen to.
I have one other hair thing because it was brought to my attention yesterday via text message, but let's get back onto the topic at hand. Just don't let me forget that other thing. I'm glad that you were able to say, no, I would deserve it. But a lot of people are not that introspective. They would be like, she cut me off. And they wouldn't take responsibility for their own not showing up, for their own lack of motivation, for their own, you know what I'm saying? So it's good that you can see within that it is me. I'm not as motivated, but I know I'm not as motivated because XYZ. Like me, my workout is to keep my blood pressure down. But I also wanted to lose weight. I also want to lose weight because I'm a little too heavy, not comfortable in my skin. So it's time for me to go back. You know me, I go up and down, up and down. And I only work out. I say it all the time. I say it to my husband all the time. He just doesn't get it, but he gets it. I work out spring, summer, and fall. Winter, is off limits. I am not working out in the winter.
But then it would be the question of, when do you stop the yo-yo? Like, yeah, I want to take this class. I want to learn how to do these braids, but I'm not really that interested. I think I want to come over here and do a relaxer instead. So when do you stop the yo-yo effect? Oh, I'm interested in doing hair today, but tomorrow I want to make jewelry. When do you stop the yo-yo effect?
Let me just respond.
Okay, no problem. No problem.
The yo-yo effect for me, it's going to always be the yo-yo effect as far as that, as far as my working out, because I'm not getting up in the wintertime. I'm not going to the gym in the wintertime. I'm not, even in working out at home, it's not the same. Sometimes, like now, like today, like I said, I worked out twice today. I went to the track earlier with my weights and I did the track, and then I went back, but I went into the gym today with my son. So I worked out. So I'm not going to do that in the wintertime. I'm not going to go to the track in the wintertime, and I'm not going to go to the gym, drive to the gym in the snow and stuff like that. I'm not doing it. So, and then in the house is a little, for me, and here we go. You might say it's an excuse. For me, it's not the same to work out in the house because my house is just so busy with all my kids and grandkids here. Yeah. It's just too busy in my home to work out.
So
it's not comfortable.
Put it in perspective of a student that wants to learn hair. When would you cut them off, or when would you decide, no, you're not the right fit for this? Or
you got to look at each student individually, what their strengths and their weaknesses are. So you might be strong in a cornrow, but you might not be strong in a box braid. So I try to encourage what I see that they're strong in. So a lot of times my mentees will ask me, how did I get so good at XYZ? Well, I had to perfect one before moving on to the next. The things that get me is so I had a client and I haven't seen her in a while. I think she actually moved away, but she wanted to start cleaning business, like cleaning houses, So I said, do you want to do residential cleaning or do you want to do commercial cleaning? Because there's different. If you're doing residential cleaning, then you need lighter stuff. But for commercial, you need more heavy duty stuff. The girl didn't have a plan worked out at all. Okay, are you doing residential and they have pets? Are you going to be using products that's pet friendly or environmentally friendly? Are you going to use harsh chemicals? You need to know these things before. Are you going to be renting equipment? Or are you going to own the equipment and bring it? She had nothing planned out. How are you going to advertise that you are starting this business? Because honestly, I believe anybody could start a cleaning business. I believe that if you're good at cleaning, anybody could start a cleaning business. But how are you going to do it? How are you going to get there? So she wanted to know from me, and that's not my job. It's not my job to say what kind of business you want to run. But
and what kind of licenses do you need?
What kind of licenses? Of course, that's a basic. But if you're saying you want to start a business, well, that's true. That's true, Nikki. That's true. That's true. That's
Some
true.
people don't know that you have to have a license to
That's true.
clean.
That's true. That's true. You know, is she going to work alone? Is she going to have people working with her? Does she need to be bonded and secured? You know, so these are things she didn't even know, like the basics, and that's not my field. But I'm asking you these questions, and she's asking me as a business person, and of course, I would know some things, but I don't know in depth. That's the business you want to go into. You need to do some research.
Exactly. And that's what the mentoring is for, whether it's about hair, whether it's about her cleaning service, whether it's about, real estate, you have to find someone in the field that you're going into and connect with them. And I'm not saying that you have to have just one person to mentee you. You can have other mentors. I mean, we've had several over the years, and I think we've become some ourselves to others in different fields. I get that a lot when it comes to special needs children and advocacy. People always ask me questions about RAINN and how I do it all. And then they just have questions just dealing with their families and things like that. So I think too, with age, sometimes we'll have a different perspective, and then some things we just can't relate to because of our age. So everything is more technical now. So some things we learn from the young people. So I think we could all learn from one another, but I think it's that being pliable and willing to learn. I know that, go ahead.
No.
One of my young ladies just opened up a cosmetology school, and she was saying, where are my braiders? It's more to just braiding than just that. You have to know the other stuff behind the braiding, the science behind the braids, because we know that a lot of braiders work from home still and things like that. But in order to get licensed, you have to know the science behind it. And so she's trying to encourage that. But go ahead.
The second part of the question is, do you get upset when people don't take your advice? Do you just brush it off your shoulder? When do you say, okay, I'm not telling you anymore because I've already told you and you're still not listening? At what point, or, do you get upset or?
I don't get upset. Y'all know I'm really easy. Ain't no need of me getting upset. You'll learn one way or the other. You'll learn sooner or later, hopefully it's sooner than later. But no, I don't fuss, fight, argue. I don't get upset because you're going to do what you want to do at the end of the day anyway.
This is true. I find I'm two ways about that. I won't get upset about it, but you're not going to keep asking me questions and asking, and you're not doing anything with it. So
You
don't keep
guys are
coming to
watching
me.
Twinness. Yes. Y'all are
Yes,
watching Twinness. I'm sorry, you guys. We're coming to you live tonight, and we'll see you again on Sunday. Twinness. I'm Tanika Gillard, and that's Tisha McDonald. Y'all are watching Twinness. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. And we're just talking about, if you give advice, do you get upset when a person doesn't take it? When do you stop giving advice? Do you say something like, because to me, this would be an upset thing. I'm not going to tell you no more because you're not listening to me. It's not that I'm upset about it. It's just that you're not going to keep asking me the same thing over and over, getting
Asking
the
the
same answers
pearls.
over and over. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I get that a lot.
But then you have different perspectives, T. We are twins and we're different. And so just like our friend Jay had asked us a question on an inbox, and I said one thing and then you said something else. And I was like, oh yeah, that's true. I do like that. So you can have two different perspectives or two different backgrounds, maybe. You work in some place that they do things a little different sometimes. And so people can have, if they bring in their experiences to you. And so sometimes you do have to decipher what's good. I think sometimes you could take the information. That's why you don't get upset. You could take the information and apply it to how you need to. Like even at work, sometimes I have a lot of paperwork, but once I get this stuff down, I'll find my own system and way of doing things. And I think that that's the same thing with any career or skill.
And that's so true because, like, I've been taking a lot of these classes, and I figured out a way to combine two of the classes that I've took, and they're two separate instructors, but I'm going to combine two of the things into one. And wouldn't that create my own system? Yes, it would. So, you got to be open to think like that. Like, oh, if I combine this and combine that, this could take off. This could really be something.
That's why you don't get upset when they don't take your advice, because you don't know that, you like you're doing, you combine it. So they are listening and take it, and they're acclimating it all, and then they're gonna put it to what works for them.
Yes. So I know we're going to be getting off in a few minutes, but the second thing that came to my text messages, Tanika, and I have a few things. I have to go back into my text messages because I've got so many from so many different people. Subject suggestions that someone, Cheryl, she was on our show before. She gave me 2 subject suggestions that we need to take under consideration. Don't know them off in hand right now. Oh, one was about the texture of our hair, how we've been like all through the years, our hair is tough, our hair is rough, we need to do a relaxer, this, that, and the other. We've spoken on this before, but it was something specific that she had said. So anyway, this text message that came to me yesterday, and we were talking about generations. It's horrible, the social media aspect. Us as stylists, we need to get it together, because this text message that she sent a client was so unprofessional. And it says something like, you need to wash your hair, blow dry it before you come, have it oiled or greased before you come sit in my chair, this, that, and the other. So I responded to the person who sent it to me, and I was just like, that's cosmetology school 101. That's the first thing. You don't want your client to come in with their hair washed, because you don't know how thorough of a job they did, for one. But, sometimes, I'll say, okay, well, you washed it already. I'll look through the scalp and all of this, and I'll be like, all right, I can deal with this. But if you say you washed your hair and I'll still see product buildup or whatever, then I'm going to take you back to the sink again. But I'm not going to tell my client who's paying her money that you need to come washed and this, that. No, because it's my job to wash you. So when clients come in and say, what's included with my braiding style, I say, I do not include hair, but I will include a wash and maybe a leave-in conditioner, but I'm not supplying the hair, and that's, again, the younger generation, or maybe they didn't go to cosmetology school, so they're not going to do that. Maybe you are going to their home, and that's what that was about. Maybe, who knows?
We're opposite, because I do require my clients to come in already shampooed and ready to go when they're getting a service. And this is the only reason, because it's like I have clients with massive hair, and that's going to add on another hour or hour and a half to their service for me to shampoo it, blow dry it, all of that. So most of my clients come in already shampooed and ready to sit in that chair, ready to go. Now they could come in
an hour and a half. It only takes a few minutes to wash the hair and blow it out.
No, not my clients, because my clients are already natural and they are already very thick.
Mine aren't?
Well, hey, I don't know about yours. I only know about mine. So, yes, now if they can't for some reason, and it's really when I'm doing box braids or something like that, that's going to take up the time, because mine mostly get small box braids. They don't really get medium or jumbo. It's going to take me at least 6 to 8 hours just to braid their hair. And I don't have no assistants. It's just me. So that's why I require that. And of course, they bring their own hair. I used to supply hair, but I don't anymore. But yeah, so that's different now. If they say I just couldn't do it, I will shampoo their hair. It's not like I don't have shampoo, conditioner, leave-in. It's not like I don't have the supplies or the tools, because my other clients I shampoo. If it's their natural hair, 2-strand twists, locks, something like that, I will shampoo. But if it's braids, a long service, no. And I will charge a fee for that shampoo service.
See, I include that in my price. Sometimes, what sets you apart is, okay, she's going to wash your hair. I don't have to worry about that. Or what sets you apart, now I do charge for a takeout. Like, I'm not doing that for free. You're going to pay.
I don't do takeouts.
Okay. So, and I was just watching one of my continuing education videos just a few minutes ago, maybe an hour ago or so. And I like what she said. She was saying that, I like what she said. It was something on the lines of, and I'm not trying to get on my young people, but sometimes the younger generation, they just don't know. So now the big deal is the lace fronts and the glues and stuff like that. But sometimes, of course, we know that could be more harm than good. So she's saying sometimes clients are losing their hair, heredity, genetics, But other times they're losing their hair because of the new techniques or the new things that, the young people want to be quick with it and not really being responsible. So she was saying something on the lines like the older generation kind of knows better how to do the healthier styles, the healthier things for the hair. And sometimes you got to take it back. We might not be able to get that hair to grow back because that's not our job. Our job is the health of the hair. But once the damage is done, sometimes it's not, say the word, reversible.
It's,
So she was saying, sometimes, the more techniques to help this alopecia client, to help this cancer patient, to help this damage that was done maybe by a stylist, maybe done at your own hands, even. The more techniques the better. And right now, it seems like we don't want to know, or the younger generation don't want to know more techniques. They just want to learn what they see that's popular today. And so they're stunting their own growth in the industry.
Yeah.
What's going to happen, the older generation is going to come to the older stylists because we're more knowledgeable. The young people need to really take heed and learn, some of our techniques. And we get that all the time, that we need to mentor the younger generation on how to do certain things. We hear that all the time.
But they have to want to.
Yes.
A lot of times they feel like they know it all and they don't need any help. Or, so again, the pearls.
True indeed. So those were my few tips. Those were a few things that came to me on my text messages, and that was just something that I saw earlier today because I was watching this new technique for braidless. It's a braidless weaving technique, and yeah, I can see me using it.
Okay.
I even text the person that made the video, and I was like, "I love the way you did this." She responded right away.
Wow, that's great.
So
That's great.
I might not be popular on social media and this, that, and the other. You might not see me on Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that, but I know what I know behind the scenes,
Exactly. Yes.
And that's
I ain't got nothing to.
And that's that. So again, to recap, no, we don't get upset if you don't take our advice, because you could get advice from several different areas and you can combine your advice, or you may not like my advice, but may like Tanika's advice. And so I don't get upset, but at some point, I'm not going to keep answering the same questions over and over. And some things you need to research and review for yourself. There's only so much I can tell you about what you want to do, but you ultimately know what you want to do. It's just implementing what you're going to do. I have so many programs, and my sister knows, that I've paid thousands of dollars for that I have not implemented. I started and then I didn't. Like I have 2 more or 3 more modules on this one $2,000 course that I paid for. But why haven't I finished it? I've had this thing since last November, and I still have not finished it. So, and it's a very interesting course, and I love the course, but I'm like, I don't have the time for that. But look, I have the time for every other thing. And like my grandmother said, you make the time for things that's important to you. So I am going to get back in there, and I am going to watch those last 2 or 3 modules, but I'm going to just start it all over from the beginning so I can retake my notes and stuff like that. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
This is Twiness. I'm Tanika Gillard, and this is Tisha McDonald. I'm Nikki. I like Nikki. Nikki is easy. You could, like Tisha said, y'all can find our books on Amazon or twiness.com. Just type in one of our names and they'll come up for you on Amazon. What was the third one that you said? Redbook?
Goodreads.
Goodreads. Okay.
And Tanika, to add on, I washed my hair tonight. How you doing, Peg? We're just about to wrap it up. I washed my hair tonight with the shampoo bar. Oh, it just feels so clean. It feels so much better. My hair, I'm sitting here with you guys right now. I just washed my hair and it's soaking wet. So after this, I will be sitting under the dryer.
Did you take the color out?
I did. I took the color out yesterday. I did a video. I'm gonna post that up on Instagram. But what I did was add the color to the back. So now I have a
Okay.
peekaboo. So
Okay.
when I wear my hair up, it'll be shown. But it drives my daughter crazy because she's like, Mommy, your hair is so long, you know. So I sat up here and did that. But yes, I took the purple out. And again, all right, this is not our topic of the night, but damaging. So I knew that I know that wearing the yarn can be heavy on my hair and my locks are thin. And I saw that it was starting to pull. So of course I took them out. I don't want to cause more damage, you know. So I said, I'm just going to take it from the front and put it to the back. My back seems a little stronger than my front and my hair is already thin. So yes. All right, ladies and gents, I don't know who's on, but I want to say thank you for joining Twinness. We will see you on Sunday. Sunday is our beauty day. Sunday is when we talk about hair and the hair business. Tonight, we just wanted to know, how do you feel about people just asking your opinion, picking your brain? Do you get offended by it? When do you say enough is enough? When do you stop giving your opinion? And sometimes people just want to really just know what you're going to say, and they don't really care, you know, or Tisha said, or Tanika said, you know, and so you don't want to be part of the gossip crew, you know, because if anything goes wrong, then it's going to be, well, Tisha, I wouldn't have done this if Tisha didn't say, you know.
Well, people misinterpret. People
Yes.
misinterpret. So
Yes.
you could have said XYZ, and for us, like even at work, we have to write it down. It's
Yes.
exactly what we said, how we said, when we said it, because you can't come back and say, no, this is what they said. No, it's recorded, you know.
Right.
So
Right. So that was all. We wanted to know your opinion on that. But it's time for us to say goodnight. And I'm going to sit under the dryer because I cannot go to bed with a wet head. And Tanika, let's talk about the youngins again. And I hate to say the youngins, but I have one that's come tomorrow, first timer. She was honest and she admitted she wears her wig every day. She doesn't take care of her hair underneath. She already admitted it. She has 2 knots. She said they're locks. Can I comb them out? I said, I can comb them out. I can't give you a price because I need to see the size and I need to see how long it's going to take me to get them out. So, and I don't use conditioner to take the knots out, and I don't cut. I actually sit there, take my time, and get those knots out. And I've been doing that for years. I don't mind doing it, but it depends on how big of a knot it is. Because if it's too big, I'm not sitting there for hours doing that, you know. But yeah, it's again, how do we take care of our hair? And I know tonight is not a hair topic, but you know, I just don't get it. Why are we wearing wigs and just making it ourselves more lazy? You know, before you used to have pride, you would wear the wig, but you would at least wash the hair every now and again. You would at least put the braids in every now and again. Now the girls are just slapping the wigs on their hair just the way it is, and no care. There has to be hair care, you know, hair care, not
I
just
have
stick
nothing
the
to
wig
say
on to be
about that
cute.
right there. That's just horrible.
Well,
I
I'll,
wouldn't
I'll
even, I'm sorry, TC, you better than me because I wouldn't even waste my time trying to sit there unknotting big knots. No,
You
no.
know how that started? That started because I have a lot of biracial children, and the mothers usually don't know how to take care of their child's hair, and then they would come in with the knots. That's how that really got started. And I would have to explain your child does not have the type of hair that they could go to bed with a wet head. You have to comb it out. You have to detangle it. Even if you can just, everybody knows how to twist. I don't care what your nationality is. Usually everyone knows how to do a double twist. Please, if there's nothing else you could do, and that's how it got started, was you cannot let your child go to bed with their hair wet. And that's how I got started with taking the knots out. And I guess the word got around, oh, go to alternatives. They could take a knot out. They could take it out and they don't even have to cut it. Now, you might be in a little pain because I might have to rip and pull, you know, but I'm not going to cut. I'm not going to cut to see if I can get to, no, I'm going to sit there and comb and comb and comb. But it's not going to be pretty. And I'm not sitting here trying to baby you either. I'm not trying to be, oh, I'm sorry, Sue. No, I'm not doing that. It's like, oh, well, this is what you did. You know, for the kids, I can have a little more sympathy, but not for adults.
Good night, you all.
Good night. Thank you for joining us tonight. And we will see you Sunday. 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we will be talking all things beauty. Good night.
Good night.